Oh, have we made it? Have we really made it to the end of 2025 or thereabouts? I mean, still 2 weeks away, isn't it? But hopefully you're able to knock off for Christmas at some point very soon. And this will certainly be the last Consonance live stream of 2025. And we are on episode number 25 as well, which is a delightful sort of synchronicity there. So welcome to another jam-packed session. We are going to have a great time doing, looking at the stuff that we've shipped most recently. I would do a big retrospective, but frankly, there's too much to cover. You've got a whole previous 24 YouTube videos where you can look at that. And we've got new stuff to talk about. So no need to look back. Onwards and upwards, forwards, head front. Let's go. Right, what have we got on the cards for this week? We have got our newish agenda. It's, 3 weeks in, 2 weeks in. I don't mind it. It's a bit punchier because I feel like these are the challenges that we're all facing. You don't need to know necessarily what's come in our mailbag, although that is an indicator of what people are thinking about. But these perennial challenges, I think, are useful to focus the mind. So we're going to look at things that are changing and how we're all dealing with it. I'm going to look at helping you achieve ever greater reach out into the world, communicating about your products. We're going to look at some expertise here, helping you to not improve, but get insight into some of the things that technology and having your data all in one place can bring for you. You do all of the hard work of assembling this stuff so that it's all get-atable. I feel like it's incumbent on us to make sure that you know how to then get at it in a really efficient way. So it's less expertise, more like sharing how-tos. I don't know. I'm not saying you're not expert. That's the thing. You're the experts, and we're permanently honoured to be able to help you in doing what you do so well. Depth, understanding data and processes. We're going to dive deep into some data today. And then speed. It struck me the other day that one of the reasons why generative AI can sort of have such a glossy appeal to folk might be because it offers, perhaps falsely, a promise that it's not going to do anything particularly fancy, but my word, it's going to do it quickly. And, I think some things should take a long time: commissioning editing, author care, line editing. But there are other things that we can use computers to do quicker so that we can get on with creative tasks. So I'm going to show you one such example today about how you can do something that is clearly in the admin box, but do it at speed and do it at scale as well. And no AI had to be invoked in the making of this feature, which is always a great position to be in. Yeah, so jam-packed session today. Let's crack on. And the first thing under change, if the dice of fortune had been thrown slightly differently this week, then we would be looking at the acronym EUDR, wouldn't we? And we'd be all very excited about how in 2 short weeks it would all be going live, and are we ready? And what has Constance been working on so hard to get us all ready in the last few months? The powers that be have clonked that on the head, haven't they? So just for the moment, everybody is going to have a nice Christmas, not thinking about trees, I guess, except for the one with tinsel on it. So instead we can have a nice calm look at new lists and new elements. So let's hot-foot it over to consonants. Can you see that? Yes, you can see that. I hope you see that. Definitely manked up my settings very slightly, but I think it's all right. There's a button somewhere that says keep on top, and I'm absolutely damned if I can find it. So anyway, boring. Right, here we are, looking at our normal, this is my local version, I guess, my development version of consonants, and we're in the feline press area, and I'm going to show you 2 new editions that have appeared over the last period of time, and they are on our friend, the reporting area. We're having very slight kittens actually here at Constance Towers about reporting, because it is not encapsulating all of the things that can be done with this particular feature. So I shall mumble the word reporting into my sleeve until enlightenment occurs. So this is a report that has got no filters, and we are looking at one of these new ways of looking at information in the system. So as you know, you refine down the data. So let's say that the product title contains the word cats, which will get a very hefty number of results on this particular account. And so now we've filtered our data, but then at the bottom of the page we show the data in all its myriad forms. And this is why the word reporting doesn't quite get to the heart of it, because you can see those results in lists of data. And here we are, all of the ways that you can sort of present that on the page. And we're looking at one of the new ones, which is production runs and works. So this is a list that's got the production run ID, its name, if any, when it goes to press, all of this useful stuff. I mean, of course, this is one of the pieces of work we did for EUDR, but it's going to come in handy, isn't it? All of the, way of getting your production run out of the system into Excel, and then also seeing the works and that sort of thing. Yes, so I was just saying, you can see data in lists, but you can also do stuff with it. You can create and edit and download, and you can further whittle down the results of the filters. If you click on that, then you've got check boxes where you can say actually exclude this one for reasons, and there's other sort of more management reports and that sort of thing. So new list here, production runs and works. Let's have a look at some of the other lists that have appeared. Some of these are the old favourites. We've got works, we've got products, we've got contributors and prices, quick slurp. Then we've got production runs and works, and we've also got production run line items. And so this is another way of being able to further refine down. You get orders in, and actually this answers Faith's question that you put on YouTube last week. You get orders in, you get orders from your customers. So you might get a wonderful PDF into the Christmas mailbox saying, I would like to order 100 copies of each of the following ISBN 13s. And there follows a great big long list of 50 different products. And you think, hooray, I've sold loads and loads and loads of copies. This is great. So you get orders in like that. Orders have line items. How are you going to fulfill them? So sometimes you have hundreds of thousands of items of stock sitting in a warehouse, festering somewhere, and you use that so that you don't have to keep that stock in your warehouse for a moment longer. But sometimes, if you're doing really, an efficient job, you are working on more of a print-on-demand situation, and so you might need to place print-on-demand orders to fulfil those line items. And if the line items are chunky enough, then you're going to be using a litho printer. And so you're going to be passing over that order to your local friendly litho printer saying, I need 1,000 copies of the following 30. And, drop ship most of them to this great customer, send some gratis to me at the office, and send some on to, the distribution centre or somewhere else. So multi-drop, multi-product production runs that are kind of prompted by an order from a customer. That's the sort of thing that we're looking at here, and this is production run line items. And where we see these quantities here, if we hover, we can see this is either the line item quantity on the order that you've received in from your customer, or it's the delivery quantity that you put on the production run. So production run in Constance is like the container for the specification of what you want the printer to do. It's a paperback with spot UV and a bookmark, and it's perfect bound, and it's got French flaps, and it's got a sticker on the front, and it's 4x0 colour on the cover, and it's Ensabel 90 GSM. So that's the sort of information that's encapsulated in a production run. And we've called it production run rather than print run because you can use that sort of idea for digital and audio products as well. And you don't print an audio cassette. I mean, you print the packaging, but the words don't quite follow over. So that's why it's a production run, not a print run. All of that is to say that there is some new actions on your reports in the usual way. And the beady-eyed amongst you will see that we've actually put kind of headers in nowadays. We've put headers for which particular display or action or thing that you're on. So if I go to products list, that says it there. If we go to, we did talk about that, didn't we? We talked about the new streaming thing that makes it efficient. We're going to cover that in a little bit anyway. Products list. And then if you wanted to set all of your products in this that you've filtered for to go out in Onyx, that sort of thing, then you would do that, and that says it there. So now we're not in a list, are we? We're in more of a, okay, you're doing a batch action, are you? Right, okay. Read this stuff and check that it's all okay. Yes, so all good. No, I don't think I will do that. Great, right. No more slurping. On with the show. What's next? Oh yes, new elements. We're still on change. Change persists. So the new element that we put in was in response to someone's kind message, maybe Faith again, to say, could we have US measurements on as one of the options on custom reports. You will remember that we use the same list of custom elements for the custom reports, which are the things that come out into spreadsheets, and also defining the marketing material PDFs. So this is like a twofer. You get one new element on the list, you get to use it in two different places. So let's just hot-foot it over to one of those places, which is custom reports, and I'll show you what we're talking about. And I'll use the filter, measurements. I won't use that one. I'll use that filter, type US, and we'll see, because I can't remember what it's called, but it will be, it might be pretty. Oh, I can't remember. Pretty? No. Oh, brain. What did we call it? Well, this isn't boding very well for you remembering, is it? I will find it. I will use this as an opportunity to scroll down so that you can see all of the fabulous options that you do have. It'll be under format or measurements, won't it? Themis, subject codes, all of these. It's thrilling. And then lots of prices, so I'll have to scroll a lot there. Indian prices, South African. Here we are in formatting. Full product summary, concise product summary. Fine, here it is. Full product summary, pipe separated for inches and bullet separated for inches. So now I can kind of, not plonk, but I can insert a huge chunk of actually quite, refined in its layout metadata. And I can put that as an option on the PDF, or it can go as an insert into one of the Excel spreadsheets. So you've got other ones that, and this is where the query came about, because we've had sort of concise ones, pipe separated. Then we had ones that were only 4 millimeters, and so now this is the one that emits it in inches as well. So that's great. That's quite a nice little puff actually for a piece of work we're going to be doing in the new year, which is having more of a thesaurus about the filters. So when I do randomly type in measurements or display or something, then there'll be more of a chance of me finding it. So that will be fun. So just keep the ideas coming for new and interesting options on this list. And yeah, then the more we have, the more malleable the layouts on AI PDFs, advanced information PDFs, and spreadsheets can be. So always good. Right, that's change. New lists and new elements. What is next on the list? Right, so we'll go back to looking at custom reports as a kind of a list available on reporting, because I don't know, I don't think I've got it quite right there. It's not that they're bigger, because if I said that they were bigger, it was like, oh, what, we published 100,000 more products. No, that's your side of the bargain. Our side of the bargain is making sure that however many results you have on the page, the system loads them quick as you like. So that's kind of what I mean. The performance of the page now enables you to have more results and quicker. So let's have a look to see what I mean. Let's use the back button to go back to the reporting area on our Feline Press. And Feline Press doesn't have that many records, I have to say. And I did do a big load of creating fake cat books to try and bump up the numbers, but there's still only about 5,000. So let's go to that report that we were on. It says no filter. Let's take off any impediment to this being the largest data set that we can possibly manage. And let's go to not just the works list, which you kind of get what you're given, don't you? The consonants team in our great wisdom have decided that these are the headers that you're having for your works list. And again, in our great wisdom, we've decided that for the products list, you get these column headings. And that's sort of fixed and immovable. But in the interests of being as flexible as possible, and in the interests of you being able to pull data from all four corners of your publishing system, you can have product custom reports and contact custom reports. And we were just looking at that big long list of options that you can have, which are the column headings for a custom report. And this is great because you can go over to that place, you can tick, tick, tick to say which of those columns you want. And then when you're on reporting here, you can use them to print out the columns that you've defined, and the rows will be the results of your filters. So the filters up here, we're actually keeping it filter free for now. So this is going to return everything. So let's go to product custom report. And it says that let's make it bigger. Gosh, it's so tiny. 5,199 products have been found. So what do we want to do with it? And this is the point at which we can choose our layout for it. So I'm going to choose the custom report, and I'll choose the Waterstones grid. Can't quite remember what's on it. And now when I press view custom report, so pity the poor web developer. I want you to hold in your head at this seasonal time of year, web developers throughout the land scratching away like Bob Cratchit, trying to handle the fact that web browsers are the technology that they are, but the amount of data is increasing all the time. And, you know, a web browser, a web page, is really just a massive text document. If we were to inspect behind the scenes, we would see a lot of HTML. And if I press view custom report now, the web page in the most simple format is going to try and load with 5,000 lines in a table. That's fine for 5,000. For 50,000, that is a really big text file for any software to load, and web browsers are not really designed to be loading 50,000, 100,000, a million rows of data. So even though we're looking at 5,000 products here, which is not very many, this new feature has been designed for you when you are loading 100,000 records or 1 million records. The page isn't going to fall over. I've said 1 million now, and I'm thinking that would be a very large report indeed. Technically fine, but I'm wondering what you're going to be doing with an Excel file of 1 million products. As we say, you're the experts. There's probably a better way. Some sort of API integration might be better for you. Anyway, this is not the point. The point is that consonants is not going to be the impediment for you handling enormous files. So let's click the View Custom Report button and see what happens. What are you expecting to happen? Are you expecting to be a spinner, maybe, and the page to slowly grind to a halt? And then when you come back tomorrow morning, it's still doing it. Let's see. So we press custom report and it says loading. And then at the top here, the results are loading in increments of 50. So you can see it's trundling through. And as I scroll down the page, I can see that, because you'll see the scroll bar thing on the right, very tiny, but you might not be able to see it if I've gone out of shot. But you know, the number of new records that are loading onto the page is going up and up and up and up, and it's not slowing down. And the fans on my machine are not whirring, and it's handling it just great. At this point, I can now copy that to the clipboard, and I can go to a handy waiting Excel spreadsheet thing here and paste it in. And there's my data pasted in, so that's quite handy. I can also click to download the full results to Excel, and that will run in a job. And our little, icon thing at the top right there will increment when that's run. So yeah, so that is now giving you the ability to run reports. No, let's say to emit Excel spreadsheets with the column headings that you want and the rows that you want, and to do that at scale and at speed, and to give you feedback as to what's happening on the page. You'll notice, you might notice that went up, that number of results at each fetch went up by 50 products. Now, when we're a bit more in control of things, when we're loading the products list, for instance, which we know what the columns are, we actually load those in 500 records per chunk. But we've limited it to 50 per chunk on the custom reports, because you could quite conceivably have 500 columns, and we don't want you to have to wait even for 500 to load, let alone 5,000. So that's why that difference exists, if you're beady-eyed and see that. What else do I want to say about this? Oh, I might let you into the sneaky secret. No, I don't think I will. Maybe I'll do that in the new year. Maybe you can, this is so lame, maybe you can write in and put your suggestions, put your hypotheses to us for how do we get web technology to load so quickly? How have we managed to do this? Look at me scrolling down through 5,000 records. It's incredible. If you have any fun ideas for how we've managed to make websites do what they're not meant to do, then you can write in and maybe you'll win a chocolate orange. Who knows, if we're feeling particularly festive. Great, so just to say, that works on product custom reports. It also works on contact custom reports. Too long didn't read. You can make very, very large custom reports, download from Constance, upon your whim. Go enjoy. Great, what's next? What's next on the list? Expertise. So I was going to wear a Santa hat, and have earrings that look like Christmas decorations, but I'm not doing that. It's not quite that Christmas yet, but as a concession to a Christmas spirit, I thought what we could do is do a little bit of Christmassy regexing. I know, I do find it endlessly easy to entertain and delight. So let's go to a new report. What we're going to do is a regex search. Regex, which we've covered in a previous video, stands for regular expression. And it means that we can do actually quite mind-bending searches. You don't want to reach for this particularly often, certainly not towards the end of a busy December. But, when you're in a pinch and you think, I need to do a query and it needs to cover a number of different bases, and this might just work. So if you want to come back to this later and read it instead of me just shouting down the computer at you, then go to a new report, press new to do a new report where you've got nothing going on, and click on the help icon and read more. And there are some kind of guides towards the bottom of this page that will remind you of the rather in-depth syntax that you need to deploy when you're doing regex. Now, we didn't invent this, I must hasten to add. Regex is a programmery thing. It's a way to match on patterns rather than the actual letters of a word kind of thing. Oh, don't make me explain regex. Good Lord. Sort of way beyond my pay grade. Anyway, come to this bit, see some of those patterns, and I will just show you a festive example so that you can get your eye in on it. So let's look for titles that contain the word Christmas. Spoilers. And then, you immediately think, great, that's going to get me all of the products where the title contains the word Christmas. Oh no, people might spell the word Christmas differently. Here I have spelt it in the abbreviated format when I was checking that this worked earlier, but other people might want to spell it in the approved dictionary way of Christmas. So in order to have your cake and eat it, have your Christmas cake and eat it, ever relevant, we can do this sort of carry on. We can say, put the thing in brackets, and then when you're doing your kind of either or string, put the pipe character in the middle. I'm going to start that whole thing from scratch. I'm going to type the brackets, and then the first word, Christmas, and then the pipe. So that's on a Mac, that's Shift and the backslash button, but it's also got a pipe on it, uppy downy line thing. And then Christmas, which is the second word we want to match on, and then close those roundy brackets. Fantastic. And if I press search at this point, and like a pantomime, you're shouting at the screen, no, it's behind you, because there's a clear error on this page. If we press search on this, then nothing is going to come back, because we said the product title should contain Christmas or Christmas. No, if we're going to get technical like this, then we have to change our middle field here. So click where it says contains, and you'll see all of the options. Now, if you're like me, you do sort of skip over this when you're in a rush and you're just sort of trying to get your report out the door. It's worth it's worth having a look to see what all of the options are. The default is contains, and when you create a new search, you'll have product's title contains, and you walk off. But you can do a negative match as well. You can say, get me everything that doesn't contain Christmas, if I'm going to be a Scrooge about it. Get me the product title where the entirety of the title is the word Christmas. Get me, so on and so forth. You can read this. But then it's these ones in the middle here, which are quite, dropped something on the floor, which are quite, relevant to our interests at the moment. And so we're going to do matches pattern. And there are variations as well, sort of negative versions. So let's say product's title matches pattern, and then we've got our pattern, because we're not actually trying to find a title that literally has the curly brackets and the pipe symbol in it. Well, that would be a cool book. And now I'm going to press search, and we're going to not get any results. Why aren't we getting results? Oh, in case insensitive maybe? So that means any capitals or not capitals. That's better. So I'm full of errors today, which I'm immediately rebranding as great successes. So, you can even match the case insensitive pattern. So I didn't capitalise Christmas here, but that's okay. We have handled it. So we have found 3 works and 6 products. Let's use our new knowledge of, let's just go to the products list actually and see what we're dealing with there. So we've got a match on the product Cats at Large at capital C Christmas. We have also got a match on Cats at Large over Xmas. And so that's a highly seasonally relevant example of how to use the regex searches within consonants. A slightly less contrived example would be for maybe UK-US spellings. Earlier we looked at adding a new custom report element to our to our spreadsheets and PDFs that use inches rather than millimetres. So you know, there's a lot of you needing to handle an international set of data. So yes, being able to look for colour, or I'm going to struggle to think of any possible word now that's slightly different. Thinking horseback riding? No. Okay, write in with words that don't write in with words. Great. So that's an exciting regex, and that should have firmly got you ready for the Christmas spirit, because that was an important bit of brain power there. Super. What is next on our list? Depth. So let's tab back to the agenda of our PowerPointy thing here, just to see what we're talking about when we say depth. I want to make sure that you've got the tools to understand your data and processes. So that's why I've put on the list today icons on the overview and the analysis page. Right, so there's a number of different analysis pages within the app. There's a number of different dashboard, I guess, pages within the app, and you'll go to them and you'll look at them, and your eye will be drawn by the exciting big numbers, and you know, you might walk off. I just wanted to take the opportunity to point out some of the furniture that, you know how it goes. It might have receded into the background to the point that you haven't actually sort of thought, oh gosh, yes, there's a thing. So that balance, isn't it, between filling the screen with words to the point where you can't see the woods for the trees, and making it clear what features exist. So if you were to come to your sales analysis page and you were to look over on the right hand side here, there's a copy icon. And if I hover over it, or if I use my screen reader, it's going to say that it's a copy to clipboard button. And so when I click on that, I mean, you know what's going to happen. The data in the table has now been copied to the clipboard, and now you can do something with it. So here we are in my spreadsheet program. I have copied some data to the spreadsheet. Hooray! But that's, you know, that's useful, because a page like this contains useful things, but it sort of generates questions, doesn't it? So you want to be able to get that data out and do something interesting with it. So hopefully now I have communicated that whenever you see this icon, you can click on it, and that will capture whatever has just been presented on the screen, and is now available for pasting. And you can paste it into things other than spreadsheets, but this is tabular financial data, so chances are it's going to be headed for Excel. There are lots of different ways to get data out of the system, my word, and we've been looking at reporting there, we've been looking at some of the batch actions which would export information, and you pick them up in notifications up there. So this isn't the only way to get data out, but I just wanted to make sure that you'd sort of tuned in and seen this purpley icon. The other place that I wanted to show that it exists, I guess, is on a work overview page. So all works have an overview page, and this is it. Now, tricking. Now, depending on the word, on the work, this is either going to be a busy or a not busy page. You know, this is all based on how much data there is. And so again, now that I've told you to look for it, you'll see these same icons. Here they are, the copying icons. This sort of thing isn't tabular, is it? This I mean, it can go into Excel, but it's kind of weird just to paste a blurb into Excel. But they do the same sort of thing. Whatever the content is within the box where they sit, that's going to be the data that gets copied. Great. Whilst we're here, I wanted to point out some of the other options, just in case you hadn't clicked on it because you thought, not now, busy, Christmas is approaching, stop going on about it. It's these other buttons here. So I'll just I will click on it for you. I will show you what happens. We're on Cats of the World. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 products on the work, Cats of the World. I click on Explore. That takes me to a new report. You see it's unsaved. This is kind of a throwaway report, or you can save it. And it's got the 4 products that we have just been looking at. And you think, well, what's the point in that? I was already on the work overview page. I was there. But if you are thinking, with these 4 products, now I want to do something. I want to generate the AIs for them. I want to set them all to be allowed to go out in Onyx. I want to change all of the work type on them. Whatever it is, you can click that button to get those products into a search. I mean, as we say, it's not the only way to do something. I could totally search for products title contains cats of the world, and that would get me to exactly the same place. But we're into that sort of shaving off important seconds from your day, aren't we? So this is one of the ways to be looking at this sort of situation. Then if I wanted to save that, to say, cats of the world for review next week, if I'm, trying to get out before Christmas and just want to be able to see it, then now I've got a new report, and it's sort of safely saved there for me to do something about next week. Anyway, point is there are icons and links throughout the system, and sometimes they kind of recede into the background because you're not looking for them. So I have drawn your attention to them. Hurrah! What is next on our list? Oh yes, fantastic! And we're not doing badly for time as well, so I'm not going to... I might take the whole hour. In terms of doing things rapidly, you want to be able to do things rapidly, and you want to be able to do them correctly. That is an important aspect of doing something rapidly, isn't it? No point in doing it, but it kind of queues up work for you later. So this new feature, which is going live today, takes the file uploader and just sort of elevates it to the next level. Now, last week on our live stream, we downloaded cover images in bulk. And I know that because I came to the same slides to edit this page, and sure enough it said download cover images. So I did not have to keep that in my head like a professional. I just noticed that, downloading cover images rapidly is a thing, so is uploading. So let us hotfoot it over to Consonance and we can see what I'm talking about. So I've got the page open already actually. This is the file uploader page. You get to it by going to the file uploader link here. If I was to type file, it would appear there. And it's in this sort of area of kind of bulky, admin-y, backgroundy stuff that you need to do. Maybe not every morning, but when the task has appeared, it's usually quite a chunky task. So for instance, the team, you might have bought a new imprint, and the files arrive and you've imported the Onyx, fantastic, but you've also got 3 gig of artwork samples or front covers or back covers or pack shots that you want to put into the marketing materials, and so on and so forth. And never, I think it's fair to say, never sit and start doing something in Consonance where you know you're going to have to do it like 50 times. Always either search for the way to do it in bulk or drop us a quick line and we will save you, because that is not the aim of the exercise here. We're into speed at scale land, aren't we? So I go to File Uploader and it says to get started, set files to upload. Fine. But I'm going to draw your attention to the new help docs. I mean, it's not like they're new, but they have been enhanced with this new feature. So a bit of verbiage about how this works. It's kind of classic, isn't it? You drag files onto a page and they upload. That's kind of internet normal. But we've added some new functionality that's going to do refined and useful things based on what you have called your artwork files. So all of that is detailed in depth here. all of the ways to name these files has been laid out. But since we're on the video together, I'm going to show you how that works, and then you can return to this and look at the enormous depth of it upon your leisure. So on my file system thing, Finder, I have got a folder called Cats to upload, which is rather charming, isn't it? I've got it open twice, in fact. And it's funny because this is the folder that we downloaded last week. So, you know, you can get your files out of the system in a zip file and then unzip it into a folder here. And then we're, you know, fiddling around with it and sending it back. So let's have a look at the top file here. Now I have renamed this one BBB, and I've renamed the next one down AAA, simply so that they are at the top of the Finder here, and I can find them when I'm live on YouTube and I don't have to faff around. Then there are some more words, and I got this image of, which you'll see in a bit, a cat being bad at Christmas. I got this image from Unsplash, and this was the file name that it downloaded with. But after the words that the file came with, I've got some things in capitals. Mustn't forget to say they don't need to be in capitals, but capitals they're in for the moment. The first funny word is type sample, and the second word is link all. And then it's got the ISBN 13, of which record, that remains to be seen, doesn't it? And then something else as well. So what I'm trying to explain here is that you can put some kind of keywords into the file name, and Constance is now going to be able to interpret them and do useful things with them. And those useful things are explained in that guidance. So now you know that there's this word type sample, and now that you know that there's this word link all. And if you look ahead here, it actually says link all type back. And then there's another one down here, this third file, it's called link B. You can see a pattern start to emerge. It's like a Christmas mystery. No, it's not. So let's just go back to the read guidance and see if that makes any more sense now. If I can get my hands to work. Scrolly down, scrolly down, scrolly down, all good stuff. Linking control. So look, link A, link B, link all, link same. This is like the way for you to figure out, oh right, so I can upload one image file, and just so long as there's the phrase link BB in the name, that is going to automatically get linked to all of the hardbacks, because that's the product form BB. Or if I put link B, that one file that I upload, that is going to link to all of the print products. In other words, the ones where the product form begins with the letter B. And if I do link all, it's going to link them to all of the products, and so on and so forth. You know, that is how that one works. Let's have a look at the type word, the type keyword. So I think in our file, which we'll see again in a minute, I put in type back. So that is going to upload it into Constance and process it as a image that is the back cover image. The default one is the front cover image. You've got all of these other options as well, like a spread sample content for type sample, or a pack shot, you know, 3D image of the pack shot, or all of other sorts of things. So these are our new kind of keywords that will work. So let's do that. Now, I'll need to have my Christmas Day Murder cat book available, because we need to see the before and the after. So Christmas Day Murder. In fact, first thing, let's have a look at the ISBNs on this. So we've got 4 products on this work, and they've all got different ISBN 13s, as is the usual way. I have used one of those ISBN 13s, this last one at the bottom, in the file name for this piece of artwork. So remember, and it's funny, isn't it? Because you're thinking about one work called The Christmas Day Murder, but there's actually 4 products on it. And it's completely valid to sometimes have different cover images for different products. I mean, I'm thinking audio rather obviously because it's a completely different aspect ratio. So sometimes, in an easy world, there's one cover image and there's one work and there's 4 products and they all have the same and we all walk off. But when things get a little bit more tricky, it's not going to be the case. So I have taken just one of these ISBNs from one of the products on this work. Go small again. And at the moment on this record, there are no files uploaded. The reason you can see an extremely adorable kitten top left is because that is the default image for the imprint being feline presser. Slurp. So we're going to make some files appear here, aren't we? So I go to my file uploader. Within Finder, I've got a couple of, I've got 3 different files and they're all going to do slightly different things. So let's remind ourselves. This first one, the type of image that it is a sample, and I want that to link to all of the products of the work. Fantastic. And I'm using that one ISBN, ends in 3398. The next image is it's going to link to all of the products, link all. And it's the type of image that is a back cover. So type back is right there. And then I've got the ISBN, it's the same ISBN, 339-8. Dashes aren't important. Position of this ISBN within this file name is not important. I've tried to make it deliberately a bit messy so that you can see that you don't have to be super pixel perfect about this. You can have link all and type back and that sort of thing in lowercase, spaces, hyphens, doesn't matter. So that's fine. And then this final image here, it hasn't got a type, so you can leave that out if you want. It's going to default to front cover. And it's only going to link to the print products because it's the ones that begin with, where the product form begins with the letter B. So that's BC for paperback, BB for hardback, probably some others, I can't remember. After 25 years or whatever it is. I'm just going to open this file because it's not coming up with a preview. Maybe it's fine. Bit sus, isn't it, that this file isn't showing its little preview there. So the way that this feature has always worked is that you grab your files and you drag them onto the page and then you click the button, upload 3 files, and that's it. That's done. They've been queued and rapidly processed. So that's all lovely. So now we can go over to our Christmas Day Murder work, refresh the page, and see what the result of that is. So now if I go down to the files section, I've got a couple of files that have approved. Things are still processing in the background because the files aren't tiny. So this is my little local server taking that original file and converting it into all of the relevant versions. We talked last week, didn't we, about the different sizes and colour spaces and stuff that we, when we take your original file, we convert them all for you. So that processing has finished now, and we find ourselves with 1, 2, 3 different files, and that's absolutely to be expected because we uploaded 1, 2, 3 different files. Now, did it work in the way that we expect? Let's start at the top here. So the approved front cover, okay, it only applies to the BB and the BC, hasn't attached itself to the ebook, and it hasn't attached itself to the audio downloadable file. Is that what we told it to do? So which one is it? It's that. That one there, link B, and it's attached itself to the B ones. And we didn't say what the type was. We didn't explicitly say the type. So, based on our documentation that we saw, the default is the front cover. And so sure enough, front cover. Fantastic, that's one. Next one, approved sample content. It's attached itself to all of the different products there. Great news. Is that what we asked it to do? So we said that the type was sample, approved sample content, great. And it says link all. It's linked it to all. Fantastic. Have we got a Christmas hat trick? Has the final one done what we expect it to do? So this one says link all, fine, but it's a type of back. And sure enough, back cover, uploaded fine. So that is, it's kind of an enhancement, isn't it, on a feature that has long existed. But now it's when you need it, it's going to be really useful to think, well, I've got all of these pack shots and all of these front covers. Oh, am I going to have to label them all as the ISBN 13 and then just, redo them all one by one? Well, not anymore, if that was ever even a thing. And the last thing to say on that actually is there are lots of very useful built-in tools to a Mac for being able to manipulate the names of records kind of easily. So it's worth having a bit of a look around, selecting some things, right mouse, and you can rename them and you can put a prefix in and that sort of thing. I think it's only in the last year or so actually that I realised that there was a quick action to create a PDF of files that stick them all together, or to convert them all to a particular, if they're PNGs, that you can convert them all in one go to JPEGs. I honestly don't know how it works on Windows anymore. It's been too long, but I'm sure if you're a Windows user, you'll know. Renaming the files themselves is fairly trivial, but try it out. Let us know how it goes. Again, it's that sort of feature that you might not use it every day, but my word, when you need to use it, you appreciate it. So as ever, I suppose one of the tricks there is, if you're ever on a page like this, search out the help information, because you never know, it might just explain exactly what you're looking for in that moment. And if you don't see what you're hoping for on the page, and you're facing down an afternoon of drudgery, then definitely drop us a line. Because even if there's not a feature built into the system, we can do something about it for you as a one-off job, on the back end or something. And then we get to know what challenges you're facing. So, and then we get to build it so that the next time you need it, it's all there ready to go. So that is that shipped and ready to go if you're doing any image manipulation over Christmas. But I really hope you're not doing anything of the sort. I hope that you are sitting with mince pies or whatever takes your fancy, having a wonderful time and a richly deserved break. I will take this opportunity to say thank you so much for letting us look after your business and admin and work and processes for this year. It is an unending privilege and delight, and we really take it seriously, the trust that you're putting in our hands. We have seen some fantastic successes this year. We've seen business models go from the early imaginings right through to launching and then really taking off. I'm thinking of some particular distribution examples there that we have been absolutely delighted to be the engine behind. The more Onyx you can send out, the more data you can send out in different formats, the further the reach of your products. And we're seeing publishers who have been publishing for a long time, and also new publishers, massively increasing the number of products that they're publishing on existing works. And it's really exciting to be in this moment where we can use efficiency of data management to make sure that people's writing gets out further in accessible and interesting formats, ranging from audio to various different digital formats. So it's, there are very massive challenges in the world, and there are also very exciting things that we can do with existing data in ways that aren't going to burn the planet to a crisp. So we are excited to have had 2025. We're excited to be looking forward to 2026 and working with you. Really appreciate also just having you being such delightful people to work with. I just don't think there's another industry where when we get support tickets in and things, you're just so lovely and human. And that's the important thing, isn't it? That we are all people. We are all doing our best, trying to make each other's businesses do important things well. So I might show you actually. I'm going to be zhuzhing up the marketing website over my Christmas break with the, mince pie in hand. And one of the things that I've been looking at, let me switch you back over to the browser thing. I was going through support tickets and I was thinking, gosh, these people are so nice. Everybody is so lovely. Cheerful missives throughout the year, not just at this seasonal time. And I just found myself cutting and pasting from our help system into Photoshop to make some artwork for the website. So, I was just heartwarmed, frankly, to see, first of all, how incredibly our team has managed to, service questions and requirements. But isn't it just lovely to work with each other and to just get such warm feelings all throughout the year? So I just wanted to mention, we really flipping appreciate it. We don't write the sort of software where you get particularly rich. We do it because books are important, and we think it's an important thing that we can do in this world to try to improve things just a little bit. So it makes us happy day to day to be able to work with you people, and we're looking forward to doing more of it in the new year. So enough rabbiting on. Have the best break. I don't even know what date we're back. 2026 just seems like that's a different period to tackle. So you'll see, the diary will tick round, and sometime in January we shall meet again. But in the meantime, have a great time, have a great break. I hope it's all okay. And see you in 2026. Bye.